literally just slapped on the camera, right? Wait up, buddy, my name is Malox. It is currently 2:30 a.m. and I'm here to talk about Doctor Who. Right, so the episode was yesterday, but I've kind of constructed a theory. I've said it to a few people. I've even posted in comment sections if you've even seen me in those. And I thought, make it a video. I haven't liked Jodie's era. A lot of people blame the writer and go, no, but Jodie's a brilliant actress. Yes, she is in a lot of other things. I've seen her in Black Mirror, and she was fantastic in that. But in Doctor Who, she doesn't, like, it doesn't feel like she puts her all into it. There are a lot of times that throughout the series until this episode, I loved this episode, but everything before it felt very childish, and it's not just the way it's written. It's felt like the acting has been very CBeebies-like, and everything is so overly portrayed or overly pushed forwards, and I really don't know how else to explain it, but it just breaks the character immersion. You kind of know that they're acting, which breaks the whole point of acting. It's just the thing that I feel. I know a couple other people that also feel the exact same way, so I know it's not just me. But hey, clearly everyone has a different opinion. I mean, I know people who absolutely loved her era, and I know many people who did not. To start off, this Regeneration was beautiful. This whole episode was amazing, and it finally made the Doctor actually feel like the Doctor again, especially with the tie-ins and things that we had and the characters that came back. It was such a good episode. Even if we didn't have those characters return, the episode itself started very much a bit, kind of cringed me out a little bit. Didn't really like the way the episode started personally, but once it kind of got into the flow of it and we were kind of introduced to the Master and things, the episode sort of laid itself out, and I really enjoyed it. And I think this is the one. It's a shame that it was the final episode of Jodie. We could have got this right before, but as it stands, this episode, I feel like from the reactions I've seen elsewhere, it's pulled the community together again, and it's really taken those who hated her era, those who loved her era, and brought us into one place where everyone is happy with the place of the series again. Right, so to start off, my whole theory is literally based on the 30-second trailer we got at the end of the episode, which was brilliant. Even though it was short, it was quite informative actually. You kind of knew what you were getting into. You got David back, you got Catherine Tate back, and you have Ncuti Gatwa. Now, look, that probably doesn't confuse you. You know he's the next Doctor. But the fact that he's included in the trailer, which is clearly for the specials, is where it gets a bit mixed up and a bit confusing. And it can't be post-regeneration, since we can expect David to regenerate at the end of the final special, since we've heard that we're getting 3. I can predict those dates to either be New Year's coming up, Easter, and then finally ends and he becomes the truthful Doctor introduced on the 60th anniversary special. Either that, or they'll start on the 60th anniversary special, then we'll have one in between that, and the final episode will be Christmas, because I can see Russell T Davies being the person to bring back a real Christmas special and not a New Year's special, especially since everyone has been kind of complaining about that change in dates and the kind of specials that we get. Okay, so regardless, let me break down this scene. So first of all, we can see that Ncuti Gatwa is wearing the white shirt with the grey tie. It's a dressed down version of David's new outfit. We can see that in the trailer, you can see that in other shots elsewhere and things like that. That's nothing too special, like we say, could easily be post-regeneration. But then again, like I say, why would they include something that's probably not even going to be that long of a montage at the very end of the special where Ncuti, you know, David regenerates and Ncuti's now the 14th Doctor, he's just a little bit surprised, looks at himself in the mirror or whatever, and then the episode ends. Why would that somehow be included? Also, why would the Doctor be confused after regenerating?
I mean, what the hell is going on here?
I just think, like, the only time that makes sense is obviously Jodie to David confused. Based upon Ncuti's version of the Doctor being so confused, I come up with 2 just off the bat predictions. My first one that I was very much sticking to was that during Jodie's regeneration, since we know she had to be heavily degenerated, and it was clearly shown that there would be some sort of side effect to that, since she seemed worried, and anyways, she had to be forcefully degenerated. Now, during the regeneration, she probably let loose and released two versions of herself. The Doctor was split in two, one that degenerated and one that regenerated. The Doctor's clothes ended up changing somehow. I'm not really sure how they're going to explain that bit, but all I know is somehow the Doctor has degenerated and then one would have regenerated, and then throughout the specials or at some point we will see Ncuti Gatwa and David Tennant's Doctor interact, where they come and cross paths, and that would explain Ncuti Gatwa's reaction as the Doctor being like, what the hell is going on here, because he's but it would explain Ncuti Gatwa's reaction to being shocked. You know, he's cross paths with himself, so both Doctors are trying to figure out why they've been split, and they don't really understand what is going on. Now, the reason I ditched that original theory was because for that to work, at the end of the special, we know we're only going to be left with one Doctor, and it would probably end with them going, oh, we need to somehow merge ourselves back into one Doctor. How would they justify the fact that the Doctor kept the look of Ncuti, but then we lose the look of Tennant? It just seems a bit unfair from the Doctor's perspective. It'd be like, why do you get to continue and I can't, you know what I mean? Unless they wanted to say something like, because you're the degenerated version, you know, you're not stable or something, and because the regenerated version is stable, they'll fuse at some point. I don't know, I feel like that's a lot more messy than what my new current theory is, which is that throughout the episode, the Doctor will keep switching. That Ncuti's Doctor and David's Doctor will fluctuate between the two, like an unstable regeneration glitching. I feel like for a lot of it, you won't fully see Ncuti, and I feel like this will all happen. So you'll start off with David normally, but then once that post-regeneration, like excess energy starts kicking in, you know the side effects of regeneration, how it's just absolutely chaotic, the Doctor's at its weakest. It's during that phase I could see the regeneration glitching in and out of maybe multiple different regenerations and faces, or just signs that the Doctor isn't truly in this David Tennant form. I think it would make a lot more sense if throughout the episode we have it glitching in and out, and then eventually it kind of switches over to Ncuti, and we have this scene where he's like, what the hell is going on here? Because he's confused about the fact that the regeneration is switching. I don't know who he could be talking to. Maybe he's talking to someone who may know the reason why the regeneration is unstable and why it keeps glitching in and out. But it also makes sense, and I mean, he's in a very dressed down version of this white shirt, grey tie, which we also see him dressed down slightly less so in a previous clip, where you can see he's obviously dropped the coat. So I do believe that throughout the specials there will be some sort of regenerative problem where he will keep phasing in and out of different forms, different bodies, whether we'll get to see other old faces like Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi coming in, since it is a degenerated version of the Doctor, or whether we just have David and Ncuti Gatwa switching between the two. Maybe it might even, for some parts of the series, switch fully to Ncuti for a while, and then he's trying to save the day while also trying to cope with the fact that his body keeps fully degenerating and regenerating, until in the end he manages to find a way to stabilize the regeneration energy. David gives one last goodbye, saying how it was nice to be back in this old body and he's going to miss it. But overall, I can see him giving a little monologue about how he liked being back as the Doctor, and then we'll have a quick regeneration into Ncuti Gatwa properly. I don't believe it will be drawn out or long, since we've already had that beautiful masterpiece of a regeneration. I feel like it would be closer to Matt Smith's quick reset regeneration, which is essentially what it would be. It's a reset, and it's just a correction of the regenerative process. Right, so the camera kind of died, so I'm going to have to record this outro just quickly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to know your theories as well. This was completely unscripted. I didn't plan this whatsoever. I had an idea. It's, you know, very late at night or early in the morning, whichever you want to pick. And I just wanted to put it out there. So I just decided to turn on the camera, start talking, and I'm not the best at that. So it's going to require a lot of editing. That's why the video was, well, for me, half an hour, and for you, only a couple minutes. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Bye. You make me